Alright, so our resolution is prostitution for adults should be legal and licensed brothels in all states. Our significant claims are, one, prostitution should be legal because it's the oldest profession of all time. According to David Goldman, prostitution is arguably the oldest profession in the history of mankind. From 5th century BCE to ancient Greece to modern day Amsterdam and Nevada, prostitution is a way of life for both the prostitutes as well as their customers. If prostitution is the oldest profession and it's not going anywhere, why not benefit from it by legalizing it and helping these prostitutes? Our second supporting claim is legalizing prostitution would allow prostitutes to not be seen as criminals and not be harmed. According to an article called Prostitution is Not a Choice, an international study of prostitution in 9 countries, 71% reported being physically abused and 63% reported being raped by a customer. So many prostitutes have been raped by their customers, even when it is illegal. This causes harm to the prostitutes and puts them in a mental and emotional situation. According to Lenore Kulo in her book that she wrote, she states further criminalization and clearly harms prostitutes. So prostitutes are seen as criminals because it's illegal and are involved in illegal activities, but if it was made legal, prostitutes would not be afraid to ask for help from law enforcement. It would decrease the harm that comes to them because they would be able to ask for help and then they would be able to put out a report and then take it to court. Our third supporting claim is that legalizing prostitution would decrease the harm that comes to prostitutes. According to Kirby Kunda, who stated it is estimated that if prostitution were legalized in the United States, the rape rate would decrease by roughly 25% for a decrease of approximately 25,000 rapes per year. So a lot of the harm that comes to prostitutes from their customers is rape. If it was legalized, the rape rate would decrease significantly in the United States. Prostitutes would feel more protected and would be able to do their job and not feel threatened. Our fourth supporting claim is legalizing prostitution would allow prostitutes to ask for help from the law enforcement. According to Melissa Ditmore, who stated, police cannot and do not simultaneously seek to arrest prostitutes and protect them from violence. Indeed, women describe being told, "What did you expect?" by police officers who refuse to investigate acts of violence perpetrated against women whom they knew engaged in prostitution. The consequences of such attitudes are tragic. A serial killer named Gary Ridgway said that he killed prostitutes because he knew that he would not be held accountable. The tragedy is that he was right. He confessed the murders of 48 women committed over 20 years. So over the years, prostitutes are afraid to ask for help from the law because they know they would go to jail because they're involved in illegal activities. If it was made legal, prostitutes, if in trouble, can ask for help from law enforcement and not be thrown in jail, or more importantly, would not be killed. This would create a safer environment for these prostitutes. Our fifth supporting claim is legalizing prostitution would allow the state and government to gain revenue from the licensed brothels. According to an article called Prostitution is Not a Choice, a 2007 study of the illegal underground economy of the sex industry in 7 other U.S. cities reported that these economies range in value from $39.9 million in Denver to $290 million in Atlanta. So a lot of this money that is gained by the government who was made legal would be used to help these prostitutes. Be used for programs like counseling. They would be tested for HIV, which would help reduce STI. Sorry. Another statement by Tracy Sontag in her article, the average annual income of an employee at one Nevada brothel working only 1 week per month is at least $100,000. Based on this figure, each legally licensed sex worker would contribute more than $20,000 in federal income taxes per year. So, like I said earlier, this money would be used for the economy and more importantly for these prostitutes so that they can get the help they need. Our sixth supporting claim is many countries have benefited from gaining revenue by making prostitution legal. According to Prostitution is Not a Choice, in Germany, where prostitution and brothels are legal, an estimated 400,000 prostitutes serve 1.2 million men a day in the industry with an annual gross of $18 billion. So many countries outside of the U.S. have benefited from legalizing prostitution by gaining revenue. significant amounts of revenue, sorry. This allows the government to use the money for more important things like programs and economic benefits. Our seventh supporting claim, which is our enhanced claim, is illegal policies have made it a lot more difficult for prostitutes to feel safe and equal. According to a statement by Lenore Kuo, in 1985, the 16 largest cities in the United States spent an average of $7.5 million enforcing anti-prostitution policies. These current policies that are in place, like the Mann Act, human trafficking laws, and so forth, have not helped, and they have actually caused more harm to prostitutes in the past. These anti-prostitution policies have cost the government millions of dollars to operate, which has brought in a lot of debt, and more importantly, has not fixed the problem. Our solvency claim is these new policies on legalizing prostitution would benefit both prostitutes and the government. So, according to Lenore Kuo, legalized facilitation would be under the direct control of the same government's boards as those overseeing decriminalized prostitution. Another statement by Aaron Fuchs, who stated sex workers in Nevada have to get monthly tests for syphilis and HIV and weekly tests for gonorrhea and chlamydia. And Nevada also requires condoms for all sex in brothels. So, these new policies on legalizing prostitution have many benefits. For instance, the government would be in control over the licensed brothels to make sure the prostitutes are in a safe environment. Also, these prostitutes would be tested monthly for HIV, and also require them to wear condoms. These ideas would help reduce STIs and help prostitutes feel safe. Our plan of action is we would make prostitution legal in all states, and then create policies that would help the prostitutes, brothels, and government. The government would be in control of the licensed brothels and make sure everything is working effectively and safely, just like the FDA has done. Just like the FDA, if everything is approved, the brothel will be licensed and able to work effectively. The government would make sure all prostitutes are tested monthly and require them to wear condoms. And finally, all licensed brothels will be required. Should I stop?
Yeah.